When I picked my son up from my parents' house, my mom smiled and said, "He's trained now." I didn't understand what that meant until I had to dial 911 with blood on my hands. When I came to pick my son up from my parents' house after a work trip, my mom opened the door and proudly said that they trained him good. I remember laughing a little because who says that about a child? I told myself she meant something harmless. This wasn't the first time I'd left him there. I'm a single mom and work trips happen. My parents always offered to help. I trusted them. They raised me. They're my parents after all. But something felt wrong immediately. He didn't run to me like he usually did. No jumping, no stories, no questions. He just stood there, hands at his sides, eyes down, and said, "Hello?" In the car, he didn't talk, just stared straight ahead. I asked if he had fun. "Yes, ma'am." My stomach started to hurt. At home, I made dinner. He sat on the couch watching cartoons, but not like a kid watches cartoons. He didn't move, didn't fidget, didn't even laugh. He sat with his back straight and hands folded in his lap, silent. I asked if he was okay. "Yes, ma'am." I told him he didn't have to call me that. He nodded, didn't change it. At the table, I tried to talk, softly, carefully, like I was afraid of scaring him even though I didn't know why. Then his fork slipped. It wasn't loud, just a small clatter against the floor. He froze, completely. His face went white, his eyes filled instantly. He started whispering, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry," over and over, faster and faster like he was racing something invisible. I stood up to hug him. Before I could reach him, he slid out of his chair, walked to the wall, and started banging his head against it. Not hard at first, then harder. "I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry." For a second, my brain just stopped, like it refused to accept what my eyes were seeing. Then I screamed his name and grabbed him, wrapped my whole body around him, took the hits on my shoulder instead of his head. He was shaking so badly I could barely hold him. I started panicking. I asked over and over why would he do that? Why would he hurt himself? It took forever to calm him down. When he finally cried, real crying, not panicked chanting, he told me everything in broken pieces. My parents told him I wouldn't love him if he was bad, that kids who talk too much get abandoned, that mistakes make adults stop wanting you. They told him if he messed up, he had to punish himself so I wouldn't have to. They called it discipline. I sat there holding my son, listening to him explain how he'd been taught to disappear. Something in me broke. I told him, slowly, clearly, again and again, none of that was true. That he could spill things. That he could be loud. That he could be annoying. That he could make mistakes, and I would still love him exactly the same. I made him repeat it back to me until his voice stopped shaking. That night, after he finally fell asleep, curled against my chest, I didn't cry. I planned my next step. The next morning, I called the police. My hands were shaking so badly I had to sit on the floor while I explained that my child had been taught to physically punish himself. An officer came to my apartment. He knelt down in front of my son and spoke so gently I had to bite my lip to keep from breaking apart. He documented the bruising on my son's forehead. He wrote everything down. After that, I went back to my parents' house with the police. My mother started screaming the moment she saw them, crying, asking how I could do this to my own family. My father kept repeating, "We were helping. We did you a favor. A favor." They said kids need discipline, that fear builds character, that I was too soft and they'd fixed what I was doing wrong. They didn't go to jail. The law doesn't move as fast as rage does. But I filed for an emergency restraining order that afternoon. It was granted. My parents are now legally forbidden from contacting my son in any way. No visits, no calls. They tell people I overreacted, that I'm dramatic. I just say my child learned to hit his own head because he thought love was conditional. That usually ends the conversation. My son is in therapy now. He still apologizes when he shouldn't. But he's healing. And if protecting him makes me the villain in their story, I'll wear that title gladly.